Somebody, you want to go off on a rant or
Yeah,
something?
I've been waiting to go off on a rant.
All right.
On my boy, big Mr. Tyler Myers. This guy's, in my mind, is, at best a 6 or a 7 in the NHL. He's big. Well, he's not big. He's tall. He's gangly. He puts up virtually, you get no offense out of him. He's not physical, and when he tries to play physical, he takes penalties, and he's an awful defensive player. So what does this guy bring? What skill set does this guy bring? How does he help his team win? I don't get it. He's was a first round pick. He's a guy that is loved for whatever reason. He's loved. The fans love him because the media likes him. But
The fans love him? I don't know. I hear a lot of bad stuff.
Good. Well, they should.
Yeah.
I just don't see what this guy brings to the game. You got to bring something to the table, as they say, to be effective. And this guy doesn't bring anything, and he's costing his team games. How many times do we see this guy falling down or down trying to block a shot, gets beat? He spends more time on his belly and his hands and knees than he does. He's not a physical guy. He's not that big mean guy. That's not in him. And when he tries to play physical, he takes penalties. He takes penalties because he's out of position. He takes penalties because he's slow. He doesn't put up any points. And defensively, he's not very good. Like, what does this guy bring to your team? All he's doing is taking a roster spot. He's the second most overpaid player in the game. You know who the first is. He's the second most overpaid and player in the game. As I said, this guy, to me, he's a good number 7, a 6 or a 7. But there's no way this guy should be playing anywhere near a regular NHL defenseman. I just don't see what he brings to the game, and that's why I said earlier, allegedly there are teams interested in this guy. I don't understand. Maybe they think differently. Maybe they see something differently than I do. But if he's shipped out, I'll be one happy guy. I've had since day one. I've had issues with him. He reminds me, and not physically, but another guy, defenseman the Canucks had that was beloved was Dan Hamhuis. Same thing. Didn't bring offense. Awful defensively and not physical. So what attributes you got to bring? You have to either be. You don't have to put points up. Okay. There's guys who are offensive. That's all they do. That's their one dimension. They're good at it. There's guys who are defensive. They don't put up any points, but they're really good defensively. Or there's guys that at least are physical. They don't do the other things, but they're physical. And he's none of those. Like, what is it? What does this guy bring to the game, to the table? Nothing.
Well, I'm not going to say anything.